Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 3. We want to present our paper about introduce to deadlock in operating system. My name is Salman Bashir Ahmad.
My name is Ahmad Fauzan.
My name is Muhammad Abdul Syakuron.
Okay. Number 1 is basic theory. Definition of operating system. Operating system program that manage a computer resource, especially the allocation of those resources among the programs. Typical resources include the central processing unit, CPU, computer memory, file storage, input or output, device, and network connection. Management tasks include scheduling resource used to avoid conflicts and interference between programs. Unlike most programs which complete and text and terminate, an operating system runs indefinitely and terminates only when the computer is turned off. The next is definition of network. A network consists of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources, such as printer and CD, exchange file, or allow electronic communication. The computers on a network may be linked through cable telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, or infrared light beams. The next is definition of deadlock. A deadlock is a situation in which the computer program sharing the same resource are effectively preventing each other from accessing the resource, resulting input programs caching to function. The earliest computer operating system ran only one program at a time. All of the resources of the system were available to this one program later. Operating system run multiple programs at once. Interleaving them, programs were required to specify in advance what resource they needed so that could avoid conflicts with other programs running at the same time. Eventually, some operating systems offer dynamic allocation of resources. Program could request for allocation of resources after they had begun running. This led to problem of the deadlock.
Number 2 is problem analysis. Deadlock in operating system. Deadlock is a situation where a set of processes are blocked because each process is holding a resource and waiting for another resource acquired by some other process. Consider an example when two trains are coming toward each other on the same track, and there is only one track. None of the trains can move once they are in front of each other. A similar situation occurs in operating system when there are two or more processes that hold some resource and wait for resource held by others. For example, in the below diagram, process 1 is holding resource 1 and waiting for resource 2, which is acquired by process 2, and process 2 is waiting for resource 1. There is the example of deadlock. Condition for deadlock. There are following four necessary conditions for the occurrence of deadlock. Number 1 is mutual exclusion. By this condition, there must exist at least one resource in the system which can be used by only one process at a time. If there exists no such resource, then deadlock will never occur. Printer is an example of a resource that can be used by only one process at a time. Number 2 is hold and wait. By this condition, there must exist a process which holds some resource and wait for another resource held by some other process. Number 3 is no preemption. By this condition, once the resource has been allocated to the process, it cannot be preempted. It means resource cannot be snatched forcefully from one process and given to the other process. The process must release the resource voluntarily by itself. Number 4 is circular wait. By this condition, all the process must wait for the resource in a cyclic manner, while the last process waits for the resource held by the first process. Number 1 is process. This is the image for the circular wait. Number 1 is process P1 waits for a resource held by process P2. Process P2 waits for a resource held by process P3. Process P3 waits for a resource held by process P4. Process P4 waits for a resource held by process P1.
Okay, next is how to overcome deadlock. Number 1, deadlock ignorance. Deadlock ignorance is the most widely used approach among all the mechanisms. This is being used by many operating systems mainly for end user uses. In this approach, the operating system assumes that deadlock never occurs. It simply ignores deadlock. This approach is best suitable for a single end user system where user uses the system only for browsing and all other normal stuff. Number 2, deadlock prevention. Eliminate mutual exclusion, eliminate hold and wait, eliminate no preemption, eliminate circular wait. Number 3, deadlock avoidance. Input to banker's algorithm. 1, max need of research by each process. Second, currently allocated resource by each process. Third, max free available resources in the system. The request will only be granted under the below condition. First, if the request made by the process is less than equal to max need to that process. Second, if the request made by the process is less than equal to the freely available resource in the system. Next, deadlock detection and recovery. The first is for resource. Number 1, preempt the resource. We can snatch one of the resource from the owner of the resource or process and give it to the other process with the expectation that it will complete the execution and will release this resource sooner. While choosing a resource which will be snatched is going to be a bit difficult. Number 2, rollback to a safe state. System passes through various states to get into the deadlock state. The operating system can roll back the system to the various safe state. For this purpose, the OS needs to implement checkpointing at every state. The moment we get into a deadlock, we will roll back all the allocation to get into the previous safe state. Second, for the process. Number 1, kill a process. Kill a process can solve our problem, but the bigger concern is to decide which process to kill. Generally, operating system kills a process which has done least amount of work until now. Number 2, kill all the process. This is not a suggestible approach, but can be implemented if the problem becomes very serious. Killing a process will lead to inefficiency in the system because all the processes will execute again from starting.
Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.